Welcome back to the Sean Ferrell podcast. Now, for those of you who may have noticed, we
got cold.
This house has been hitting cold.
We just turned the heat on.
And so when we took a break, that's when it really hit us that we're cold. So when you see the hood on my head, we're just trying to stay warm.
It is cold in here.
She's trying to stay warm. And so, believe me, this helps. Okay? This helps, okay? So, me and Emily, we chopped it up about my story. And now we're going to chop it up about Emily's story. Emily?
Well, I really want to thank you first for sharing your story, because you sharing your story, I was so upset with your story, and I was upset with the way you were treated. Mm-hmm. And I was just standing there, and I filmed it, and I was just bawling, going, this is horrible that you were treated like that. Mm-hmm. And I just felt so bad for you. But you went up there with such a purpose. I mean, you just came up there and you just, here it came. And I was so proud of you. And I thought, I got to go talk to this guy. And I mean, as soon as you were available to talk to you, I grabbed you and said, hey, I want to talk to you. And because I just felt
I had you came up to me.
I had to talk to you and tell you, hey, my son died.
Yes.
And I don't know exactly what I said to you, but my 17-year-old son Joey.
I still have the video. I have the video. I'm keeping that video. I still have the video.
And I didn't go there planning to tell my story. Yeah. That's what's ironic here. I mean, I just went because I wanted to participate in this walk.
Well,
and I've been asked to tell my story before, and I didn't want to. I was scared to.
And after that, and after I got home, and when I got home, it all of a sudden just hit me that when I was searching for purpose, came to mention that she said, Pastor John of the Life Church, which I go to as well.
Yes.
She said, Pastor John said, if something's burdening you, you're called to it. And then all of a sudden it just hit me. I tried truck driving. Didn't work. I tried to be a personal trainer at work. That didn't work. And I was looking for purpose most of my entire life. And all of a sudden it just hit me. Helping people. And glorifying God in the process. Helping people and honoring His name in the process. And so...
well, you were so brave to get up there and say
I'm just blessed. I'm just so blessed. And I'm just so blessed that my story moved you in such a
Oh, it did. I sent you the video just a couple of nights ago of where I filmed it, and you can hear me talking.
Yeah.
And I'm going, no, I'm glad you didn't take your life. I mean, it was so moving, but I'll show you. My son is Joey Taylor, and this is Joey. And this was one of his favorite shirts, and I call this the Joey picture because this was his junior year photo, and I got the proof from the school in an email, and I sent him a picture of it, and he said, texted me back and said, Mom, I think that's a real good picture of me. I like it. And so I always called it the Joey photo.
Yeah.
But, and you know, unfortunately, this is the last school photo I've got of my son. And sucks. He, on December 4th, he took his life, 2018. And I talked to him the night before, and we had a great conversation. And I had no idea. I mean, he said he was doing great. He had plans for the weekend. He had plans to meet his friend for coffee in the morning. And so we had a brief conversation about school and stuff, and he said, I'm not doing good in math. And I said, well, you need to go study. Like, go study right now. And he said, I'm working on it.
I never was a math guy. I never was a math guy. The only way I got by in math was I just did all the classwork. I can never remember a single test I passed in math. I can't ever remember a single test that I ever passed.
Joey really struggled in math, but so Joey there were a lot of rumors about what happened to Joey. And it started really quick. I found Joey at 5:55 a.m. And then at 6:55 a.m., I am being questioned by detectives. And they've got a recorder on. And I'm in a room all by myself. They separated my husband from me. They separated my husband's friend. I mean, they cleared it out. And I had no problem talking because I said, I want to figure out what happened. And it was just surreal because I remember the time being 5:55 when I found him. I'm like, it's just been an hour now I'm being interviewed by the police detectives in Germantown. And I just said, I don't understand. I don't know what happened. We were talking about math last night. He had plans. And then I heard them scream, there's a note. There's a note. And I said, wait a minute. If there's a note, I want it. And they said, you can't have it right now. It's evidence. And they took the note. So I brought the note. Because a lot of people have said, Emily, what's in the note? Why? Why did Joey take his life? That's a really good question. And I think that needs to be explained. Because I do appreciate that people care. People love Joey. I loved him too. I mean, this is my baby. And it pains me every day that he's not here. And so I brought this.
Yeah, that's what
I brought this. This is the note, and it says, "Read me. I'm the note." And I didn't get this. He passed away. It was a Tuesday, December the 4th, and I got it on Friday. And the funeral was on Saturday, and I got just portions of it. And a lot of the names, he'd mentioned some names, and they were written, marked through, because the police didn't want me to have that information, and I was real confused. I just didn't know what happened, and it was just hard for me to comprehend. All of a sudden, my son that I talked to last night is gone. I mean, and I had some friends there when it happened, and my best friend said, you're not going to be in the room when they pull his body down. I'm not going to let you see that. And it was just so much to wake up and go, oh my gosh. And then I called 911. But anyways, to get to the note, and I really wanted the note that day. I said, I want this note back today. And so I just thought it would be helpful to clear things up, because there was a lot of rumors about Joey getting bullied. And Joey was not bullied. There might have been a little social media stuff, but that's not why he took his life. He did not take, and he's very clear in his note that he was not bullied. So I want to put that to rest. He basically says that, and this really gets to me, I'm past my expiration date. That's deep.
That's deep. Yeah.
So that means he feels like he should have taken his life sooner.
Yeah, that's deep.
Yeah.
That's deep.
And Joey was a deep thinker.
Yeah.
So, this is a really deep note. It's taken me years to understand what it means. Mm-hmm. And basically, he says things like, he's failed to find hope. He fights to continue every day, but he doesn't know how to fight anymore. He didn't think he was smart enough to go to college, and he was. And he wanted to be in the military, and he had bad knees, and he was needing a knee surgery, and he didn't want to do it. I don't blame him. We talked about it. He was going to be on crutches for 6 weeks. The surgeon wasn't sure if it would correct the problem, and I was like, no, we're not going to. He said, I'm not doing that, and I said, I don't blame you. If we don't know it's going to correct the problem. Mm-hmm. So he knew he wasn't going to be able to enlist in the Army. And that bothered him. He also says things get better, but they also get worse. And nothing's permanent. Mm-hmm. And that's deep too. Really deep for a 17-year-old, I think.
Say that again.
He says things get better, but they also get worse. And he didn't want anything to get any worse, is the way I took it. Yeah. And he says, he is, nothing's permanent. Mm-hmm. And there's just, nature is one of those things you can't change. Mm-hmm. And he says, all he knows how to do is fight. And I can't fight my own nature. It's a paradox. And that's really deep. I'm sick of being stupid in school. I'm sick of my knees buckling. I'm sick of getting abandoned. And specifically on the abandoned part, and I struggle with this too. He said to me, we'd had a conversation one day, Mom, so-and-so's my friend one day, and then next day, they don't know who I am. They don't know who I am. And why do these kids do that? Mm-hmm. And I'm seeing that. And I don't understand it. And that really hurt his feelings. Mm-hmm. And that would hurt my feelings. I don't get it. Mm-hmm. He says he's sick of these thoughts. Sick of these thoughts he's got. And he first attempted to take his life when he was in 7th grade. And he took a gun that was his stepdad's gun. And his stepdad was big on safety of guns. And it was just one of those days where he forgot it. And then, of course, Joey was looking for it. He found it. And Joey told us, hey, he was taking pictures with a gun. Didn't want to shoot it. And then it later came out. That was a suicide attempt. Mm-hmm. And he went to Lakeside for a week. It was the hardest week of my life, having to go up there and drop him off. And they did a cavity search. And the admission time was so long, and I remember going, I don't want him in here. I don't. But he had told his therapist, I was trying to take my life. I lied to my parents. I told him I was trying to take photos of me in a gun. And
there was a movie that was made back in 2012. And it was called Cyberbully. I've watched that movie a countless number of times. And you mentioned how you said Joey felt like he didn't have their friends with him one day, and the next day they don't know who they are.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I remember watching the movie Cyberbully. It's a really good movie. I think you can find it on. I think it's up on YouTube for free, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay.
So it may be up on YouTube for free, but I'm not sure. But I've watched that movie a countless number of times, and there's a scene where the student that's getting bullied, her name is Taylor. Her name is Taylor. Okay. There's a scene where she has two best friends, okay? And then one best friend abandons her, okay? And then as a short while later in the movie, her other best friend abandons her.
Wow.
Okay. And she goes into the bathroom crying, and all the girls who are bullying her, they're in there.
Oh man.
And they put a video. They put a video of her online, and it was so. Her friends invited her. There's a video of her online, and she went home, and she looked at the video, and needless to say, that video broke her because it portrayed her as a whore.
Wow.
It portrayed her as a whore, and that completely broke her, and she had to empty. So,
you know, the cyberbullying is huge, and that blows up, and it's one photo, and then 2,000, 3,000 people see it, and it can ruin somebody's life. And
as a matter of fact, Kami spoke about that.
She sure did.
She said she had an online bullying accident that took place. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
I just want to make sure that I clear up, he was not bullied. He dealt with depression for a long time. His dad was severely depressed. His dad went through a lot of childhood trauma, and it was really rough on him. And his dad's, when he was 17, his girlfriend died. Mm-hmm. And that
Joey's her girlfriend.
No, his dad, Alan.
Okay.
Joey's dad's Alan's girlfriend died at 17. And I was just trying to establish the link of the depression. His father was very intelligent man, member of Mensa, but he could not shake the depression. Mm-hmm. And his girlfriend died at 17 on Christmas Eve, and his dad, Alan, was supposed to go pick her up, and he was tired, so she drove. She had a wreck, and it killed her. Mm-hmm. And his dad just he said, I can never shake the guilt of this. Yeah. He hated Christmas. Yeah. He would not deal with a Christmas tree. Yeah. He wanted to shoot Christmas trees, and, he was just angry. And his dad began self-medicating to deal with that. And then eventually went from just a little bit of drugs to every day crystal methamphetamine. Yeah. And people didn't remember. They remember who you are for his dad's case when he died. And when his father died, and his father was shot. So Joey dealt with this too. His dad is murdered. That's a lot. And he didn't know his dad well. But when his dad died, he'd been in jail not long before. And people remember all the crazy stuff he did when he was on drugs. They don't remember the Alan Taylor before that was a motorcycle racer that everybody loved. He rode for American Honda. I mean, he was the guy that turned into almost homeless. Well, he was homeless, but his parents made sure he had a place to live. But if they hadn't, his dad was homeless with nothing. And it's a lot to go from living the way his dad and I did. We had a nice house. We had nice cars. We worked very hard. Mm-hmm. So, but people remember his dad like that. And his dad was a real deep thinker. And his dad told me, you know, he said, I just can't shake the negative thoughts in my head. They won't go away. He spent time in the darkness. His dad would sit and he said, I've just got to collect my thoughts. I've got to think it's got to be dark. Mm-hmm. And I never could understand that. I would say, you know, come out of this cave that you're in. Mm-hmm. And he just, sometimes it'd be 3 or 4 days. Mm-hmm. And then I would be so worried about him and mm-hmm. bug him the whole time. And I finally learned to realize I can't do that. Mm-hmm. I can't. And he needed more outside activity. And he really had it bad in the winter. But Joey dealt with depression with his dad's side. He never knew his dad very well. I've dealt with depression. I was bullied in high school. My friends and I have talked about it recently. We had a rough high school. We had issues on the bus. We had issues with boys.
You know what? That reminds me of a podcast I did with one of my fellow Memphis Walk chairs, Grace Peterson. She was bullied. He was bullied as well. But she said she had friends around her. But she had friends around her that could
kind of stand up for her and rally for her.
Yeah.
High school bullying is so much, and I dealt with it a lot. And my friends and I have reconnected, and we've talked about it. And this just in the last month, how mm-hmm. bad it was for us. We have one girl that went through so much trauma. I still hurt for this girl mm-hmm. that went through so much trauma. And I know she's still hurting today. Mm-hmm. And, you know, I want the message for this. You know, it sucks. I lost my only kid. I don't have another chance here. I'm not going to have another child. And I want people to know that it's not okay to bully. It's not okay to be mean. You know, we need to be nice. Everybody needs to be nice to each other. Suicide prevention is everybody's business. We can all be nice. We can start by doing something like, not drive so aggressively. Let a car in. I mean, it's not that hard. We don't have to drive as crazy as we do. Get off your cell phone while you're driving. Let's just be courteous. Let's be nice. Let's ask people how they're doing. We did a little experiment at the walk. We were like, no one's talking to each other. And I said, let's try to do a conversation. What's your favorite song, Sean? And you said...
Jordan Sparks.
Yes.
One step at a time.
One step at a time. And I said, hey, mine's AC/DC. But it's a conversation starter.
Right.
It's like, hey... I can talk about that.
Right.
You know, and I noticed, you know, we talked about how younger teens are just they're not talking to each other. They're in their phones. Mm-hmm. And I've had a hard time with, I don't use the telephone anymore to make phone calls. I used to love to talk on the phone. I still do. And all this texting is hard for me. Mm-hmm. And I'm going, why can't we just call? Because you miss texting is bland to me. And sometimes you don't interpret the message right. And I'm real bad about that. You can read it and go, well, did it mean this? But when you're on the phone, you hear the inflection of the voice and you can just explain more. So I think it would be cool if people started talking on the phone.
Yeah.
I mean, let's call each other on the phone.
Yeah.
How are you doing? Or what is your favorite song? Yeah. Or, you know, what's up?
Yeah.
What's another one?
Yeah.
I mean, how are you doing?
Yeah.
I mean, we can do that. We don't have to text all the time or Instagram message.
Yeah.
It seems like that was created to be something that was a quick note. And now it's turned into communication. And I think we're lacking a lot of communication. Communication is a problem for a lot of things. That we don't have enough communication. So, I miss Joey. I appreciate everybody who has supported me. I mean, it's been so hard. And it's taken me years to even talk about this. And I had one of Joey's friends said, hey, why did it take you so long? And I'm going, I was just in shock. I couldn't speak. I was just suppressed everything. And then I felt, you know, I had some people around me that made me feel embarrassed. And they're like, I can't believe what? Did your son not believe in God? Or, you know, why'd he do that? He was an asshole. Your son was an asshole for doing that. Hello, I'm the mother. And he's gone.
There was a former offensive lineman for my favorite team, the Dallas Cowboys.
Yeah.
His name was Mark Tuane, okay? And he was going through some problems, okay? And Randy White, one of the Hall of Fame Dallas Cowboy players, he said, Mark came over to visit me. He was having some problems. Mark was never really a guy to say what was on his mind. But had Randy White known that Mark was having some problems, he probably could have handled that visit a little bit differently that day. The next day, Mark Tuane died of a drug overdose.
Wow.
And his wife and his death kept his wife in shock. And it took her about 10 years, a long time. And it took her several years to come around.
So it's normal. I've been to a lot of therapy, a lot. And it's important. If you don't find the right therapist, go find another one. And I've done that. And I found a therapist and she was awesome. I went in.
Absolutely. Yeah.
I had all these dates written down and a sheet of paper and I said, here, this is what happened to me. And she said, okay, you've got all these deaths written down. I had my dad, I had my father-in-law, then my mom, and then I had all this happen in 22 months. Then Joey's dad, and then my mother-in-law, and then Joey. And it's like, oh my gosh, in 22 months I lost 6 people. That's huge. And so she said, Emily, I am bothered by this sheet of paper. And I said, I am too. This is what happened to me. Mm-hmm. And she said, did anything else happen to you? I mean, like you were born in 1975. Mm-hmm. And I went, oh, well, yeah, actually I have done a lot of other things. And she said, well, can we talk about that too? And I said, I am so focused on these, this 22 months where all these people died and I'm stuck in it. And she said, let's help you get out of that. Let's try. Let's think about what else you've done and your accomplishments. And that really helps me because I was just stuck in that. Yeah. And I thank her. Her name's Stephanie Galloway. Yeah. She's awesome. Yeah. And I just didn't see it like that. Mm-hmm. So, yeah. And that, just things like that. And she, as far as therapy goes, she always made me laugh. And she kind of makes fun of herself. And I love that about her. But she
You know what?
It's not too serious in here, but it is.
You know what? I've had people tell me I look like Sean Stockman from Boys to Men.
Yes, you do. That's who you look like.
I've had people tell me, but more recently, I can't begin to tell you the number of people who tell me that I look like Twitch.
Yes, you do look like Twitch, and man!
And so little did they know that
wow, you do look like Twitch now that you said that.
Little do they know that I actually went through some stuff like he did.
Yeah.
Only difference is that he's gone and he's gone. Yeah.
I tell you, when I find out that someone took their life, it's like a stab in the back to me. I'm just like, I can't. Another one. I just found out yesterday someone that I'd known for a long time. He took his life 3 years ago, and I went, oh my gosh, I'm just now finding this out. I was so upset. I'm still so upset to know, because at that moment they're in so much pain that when they're deciding to take their life, they're going, this is the only answer, is to stop it. Yeah. I've got control. I'm stopping it. Yeah. And it's like, could we have done something like talk to someone on the phone? Could we have made conversations with someone? What can we do?
One thing we can do, we can spearhead this video and make it okay for people to talk.
I think we do need to talk.
It's absolutely okay.
We were talking.
Saves lives.
Talking saves lives, and that's very important. American Foundation for Suicide Prevention. That is what they say. Talking saves lives, and they have some great resources. One thing is they've got this Surviving a Suicide Loss. This is a really good resource. Also, take action. Take action. Be a lifesaver. Text, it's got the National Suicide Prevention Line. Find a mental health provider. Visit someone who could help. But, yeah, here it is. Talking saves lives. We've got to talk to each other, Sean. We've got to. I mean, because we've got to do something about this. It's everybody's business.
It is.
What we're doing. Suicide prevention, suicide awareness.
Everybody's got to do it. Like I said, when Joan O'Neill said that football convinced him that life is a team game.
Yeah.
Suicide prevention is a team game.
It is a team game, and we all got to be on the team. We do. And so we are talking about the next event that American Foundation for Suicide Prevention has is the Survivors of Suicide event.
Absolutely. I will be there. I will be at the one in Memphis.
You're going to be in Memphis. I'm going to be in Little Rock. And it's November 18th. And I've participated in it for 2 years. And it is an amazing event because there's so much healing. Absolutely. You meet people who understand.
Yes.
They know what you've gone through.
Yes.
And you don't have to explain it.
Yes.
They're just like, I've got it. And you just walk up and you feel that they've got it. And so that's
you feel a lot more freer.
You do. There's no judgment. They're just there for you. And it's not hard to walk in. I know it's hard at the first time you walk in to one of those events if you've never been to one, because it was hard for me. But the second time it's like, hey, I'm walking in and I know that girl right there. Mm-hmm. You recognize people and it helps. So the National Survivors of Suicide Day is November 18th. And so and they have events at a lot of locals. We've got one in Memphis, got one in Little Rock.
I think they have them all over.
They do. And the 18th of November is Survivors Day. Mm-hmm. So that's really important. It's also my dog's birthday. How ironic is that? And it was Joey's dog. And I looked at I thought, oh my gosh, I can't believe his dog's birthday is that day. So I was really excited about that. And then Joey has a friend and her name's Johnny, and her birthday is that day too. So Johnny was at the walk. She had the tattoo. You met her and Frankie. She's awesome. Yes.
She was the one I talked to, who showed me her scars of harm.
Yes. So
absolutely.
She's a very special girl, and she was a great friend to Joey. Joey had a lot of great friends. I hate to single anybody out because there's so many of them. I mean, there's so many, and I appreciate their love. But Joey was so much fun. Mm-hmm. We would have fun going to Walmart. Mm-hmm. And the thing about him, he would say, I'm making plans, I'm going somewhere. And I was like, will you stay home with your mom? And no! Right. I wanted to hang out with him too. One day, I couldn't get him to go to lunch with me. We drove to him through the Wendy's drive-thru together. Mm-hmm. And we had fun. I was like, you don't want to go to lunch with your mother? No, I don't. I get it. But, I mean, he made you laugh. He made things more fun. Yeah. And it sucks that he's gone. Yeah. And I just want to let everybody know that, it's okay to go to therapy. It's okay if you're feeling down. Talk to somebody. Tell somebody how you're feeling, because I know his friends are hurting. I know they're still hurting. I'm hurting too. And, every day I wake up and sometimes I go, where's my kid? Where is he? I really struggled with that. And that's exactly why I had to leave Germantown as quickly as I did, because I couldn't stay there in that house. And I know people thought, wow, she moved quick. I had to, just to get out of there. But I appreciate you so much. And you were just amazing with your story. And thank you so much. And this is a great platform. And American Foundation for Suicide Prevention does such great work. Yes. I'm a huge supporter. They have a great website with resources. Absolutely. So I encourage people to go on their website. You can download the app. It's awesome. So.
And let me just close by saying the same thing that I said at the walk, that I'm going to say at the end of my story at the walk, that Michael Irvin said at the end of his Hall of Fame speech. To those of you that feel like that you all have never measured up or wanted to quit, let me tell you, just look up, get up, and don't ever give up. Thank you. Yeah. And God bless you all. And God bless you all for watching the Sean Ferrell podcast. We are out of here.
Bye. Thank you.